I like a beer on a hot day.
Yeah.
I do like a beer on a hot day. Hot days work, a beer after.
Yeah, a couple of these, off you make with what you've got. So I think that's doable. Everyone, sometimes whatever you have, these out there, if it was about 90 degrees out there, go down a tree.
You know, if I have a beer, I love the smell of beer.
Yeah, I've been where you've been and he's been. It's because you're barley. To put one twice as big as that. Supper or pickled onions or something, like the Agber or whatever it is, isn't it?
Wise words. Wise words.
When I first saw this news, I wasn't exactly rushing to celebrate. We've all seen gaming websites take a throwaway comment, slap an exciting headline on it, and suddenly half the internet is convinced something huge is happening, so my first reaction was very much a case of, I'll believe it when I see it. But then, more outlets started reporting it, and when the official Sea of Thieves accounts started sharing the news around, it became pretty obvious this wasn't one of those stories that was going to quietly disappear by the end of the week. The project was also confirmed by Xbox head of content Matt Booty in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. He also revealed that it's being produced by Destin Daniel Cretton, hell of a name, who directed Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings, and he is attached to the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day. He's apparently producing rather than directing, but that's still a fairly serious name to have involved in a pirate film about stealing bananas and setting your own ship on fire. One of the biggest questions surrounding a Sea of Thieves movie is actually pretty simple. What's it going to be about? Unlike most games, Sea of Thieves doesn't really have a main character. The main character is you, or your crew, and that one pirate who boarded your ship, stole your chain shots, and somehow vanished into thin air. Booty touched on exactly that point, explaining that Sea of Thieves isn't built around a single hero or a straightforward story, it's built around player adventures and the interactions that happen out on the seas. So rather than adapting one specific tall tale, it sounds like they're trying to capture the spirit of Sea of Thieves itself, which is probably the right approach because trying to explain the full Sea of Thieves storyline to a cinema audience might require a film that's about 14 hours long. What's also worth remembering is this isn't some standalone project. Sea of Thieves is now part of a much bigger push from Xbox, with more than a dozen adaptations currently in development. You've got the Minecraft sequel, the Gears of War movie and animated series, the Minecraft animated show, and the Wolfenstein TV series. And that's why this announcement matters. Successful adaptations of games have a habit of bringing huge attention back to the games they're released on. Fallout is a perfect example. The TV series exploded in popularity, and suddenly millions of people were jumping back into the Fallout games. Fallout 76 in particular benefited massively from that surge of interest. It's difficult to imagine Fallout 76 being where it is today without that show. The player numbers went up, the attention went up, and with that comes more investment, more updates, and more reasons for publishers to keep supporting a game long term. So while a Sea of Thieves movie doesn't directly change anything in the game tomorrow morning, the long-term implications could be enormous. More players, more eyes on the franchise, more engagement, and potentially more resources being invested into the game itself. For a game that's now heading towards its 9th year, that's not bad news at all. In fact, it might end up being one of the biggest promotional showcases Sea of Thieves has seen in quite some time. And to think the last time the game got a massive publicity campaign was 5 years ago with The Pirate's Life. That's a heck of a long time. Now I know what a lot of us are already thinking. We want the perfect Sea of Thieves movie. The problem is, the perfect Sea of Thieves movie for a veteran player is probably the worst possible Sea of Thieves movie for everyone else. I've spent years sailing these seas, I know the stories, the characters, the islands, the hidden details, and at this point I could probably identify the map from a blurry screenshot of a palm tree. But a movie made purely for people like me would make absolutely no sense to someone who's never touched the game before. The perfect Sea of Thieves movie isn't one that caters to the veterans, it's one that makes someone leave the cinema and want to experience more. Insert the Sea of Thieves game. That's why I actually like the direction they're talking about. A fresh pirate arriving in the Sea of Thieves for the first time gives audiences a chance to experience the world the same way we all did. Confused, amazed, slightly terrified, and probably on fire within the first 20 minutes. That doesn't mean the big names from the lore should be left out, of course. I'd be amazed if we didn't get appearances from some of the fan favorites along the way. I just don't think the story should revolve around them entirely. Take the Pirate Lord, for example. In in my completely unbiased opinion, there's only one choice for him: Brian Blessed. The man practically is the Pirate Lord already. You wouldn't even need to write a dialogue, just point a camera at him and let nature take its course. As for Flameheart, Christopher Judge would absolutely nail it. The voice alone, boy, would be enough to sell the character. Every time he'd appear on screen, you'd immediately know things were about to go wrong. As for Lorena, Michelle Rodriguez feels like a natural fit. She's already got the confidence, attitude, and presence to pull off a character who somehow manages to recruit pirates into dangerous adventures while standing safely as an outpost. Granted, that's a fairly expensive cast list for a film based on a game where most of us spend our time stealing treasure and accidentally harpooning rocks. The reality is we'll probably see a mix of newer actors and rising stars rather than a collection of Hollywood legends. Still, a pirate can dream. Either way, this is genuinely exciting news, not just for the Sea of Thieves players, but for the franchise as a whole. This could be one of the biggest opportunities this game has ever had to reach a completely new audience, and I can't wait to see the first screenshots, trailers, casting announcements, and little hints of what's coming. But now, I want to hear from you guys. Who would be your dream cast for a Sea of Thieves movie? Let me know down in the comments below, and until next time, don't forget to squiggle that like button and give that subscribe button a gentle fluffle. And I'll see you all in the next one. Happy sailing.